All right, we're going to finish up the content for Unit 1. So this will be sections 4.3 and 4.5. Basically just expansion on Lewis structure stuff, nothing really crazy new here. Um, so there are some exceptions to the octet rule. Hydrogen is a notable exception. It only needs 2 electrons in bonding. We've talked about that before. But elements in group 3A, or we're learning group 13, typically don't have enough to fill out a full octet. So for boron, we only use 6. You sometimes see aluminum do some crazy covalent bonding stuff and only use 6 as well, but boron is going to be the main one that is the octet exception today. So hydrogen has 2, boron can only have 6, so max of 6 on boron. Then, if you have the third row or the third period, they have d orbitals empty. So you don't need to remember too much about that. Just know that they're extra room, basically, extra room for electrons. So they can have more than 8 around them if needed. So we don't just go crazy and just give them as many electrons as we can. If we have to give them more than 8 because that's the only way we can really draw the structure so that everybody is happy, then we will. For this class, we're not going to get too into all the different types of structures and ways we can judge our structures. Just know that third row or below, so third row or below, so third row, fourth row, fifth row, sixth row, can have extra electrons. They can have more than 8. Two notable examples is phosphorus and sulfur. As you can see here, some structures where they have more than 8, and that's okay. You don't need to be doing this a ton unless you're sure you need to be doing it, and if you're not, then just ask. And then the last little bit we're going to do is name covalent compounds, and this is easy peasy. And I don't say that about a lot of things in chemistry because a lot of things in chemistry are not easy peasy, and I know this, but this one is. If you're making this harder, it's you're you're making it harder. So if you find that this is very, very difficult, it's because you're overthinking it, is what I'm trying to say. So to name a covalent molecule, all you do is change the second element ending to IDE. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to use those IDEs, the same thing we did with the anions. They're not anions though, because covalent does not have ions. No ions. So you're not going to be writing ions out. You're not going to be balancing charges. You're just going to, step 1, change the ending of the second element to "ide." The first is just the name of the element. The second is "ide" on the end, okay? Then we're going to add prefixes to show how many we have. There's a prefix table that you need to memorize in your memorization list. And we usually omit mono when it's the first element, but we do use it for the second element. So we also omit the first vowel, so not monooxide, we just kind of say monoxide. Tetroxide will just be like tetroxide, for example. So nitrogen is the first element, and there's just one of them in NO2. So we see the prefix is mono. If we're going to go put mono on the first element, just don't. Omit mono if it's on the first element. But you do say mono if it's in the second element. Think about what you know. CO is called carbon monoxide. So we do use mono on the second element, just not on the first element. Then the second element here is oxygen, so we changed it to oxide, and there are 2 of them, so we go over and we say 2 is for di, and we say dioxide. Nitrogen dioxide means NO2. Carbon dioxide means CO2. Here, there are 2 nitrogens, so the first name we just say nitrogen. There are 2 of them, so we say di. Now the next one is oxygen. So we say oxide. We change the second one's ending to IDE. There are 4 of them. 4 is for tetra. So we say tetroxide. We don't say tetraoxide. We drop that first vowel. The only time you won't drop the first vowel is if you have tri or diiodide. We keep both of them for some reason. This is easy. Don't make it hard. You just add the prefix for the number of elements there are. Change the ending to IDE on the second element. Don't use mono on the first. That's it. Basically 3 rules for that. Practice, practice, practice. And then again, that naming website, you can go back to the one we use for ionic stuff. You can add in covalent and you can practice that naming. Awesome. See you in class.